All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Cycle 2 overview of 2019. So we did the main conditioning cycle and we were kind of focused on prepping for the open. We had a lot of main site stuff coming up and we were really dialing up a lot of that high intensity conditioning. Now, we're really going to switch focus in this next series and we have two big strength pieces that we're going to be dialing in. The first is the all famous clean and front squat cycle. Now, what this is going to be is 2 days out of the week, we're going to be focusing either the clean or the front squat, or most commonly both together. And it's a combination where we do a series of rep ranges and percentage based where kind of move up and move down and we do cleans and front squats together. Now, that's not going to hold true every week. Some weeks we are going to follow the same rep scheme for one of the days. So it might be a Monday, and then Thursday or Friday of that week might have more of a clean focus, but in a different capacity. So it might be something like a power clean or some technical form work. And that's going to ebb and flow a little bit based on the amount of volume that we are doing. We don't want to be overworking some of those muscles too much when we're starting. So for the most part, what you're going to see is most of your front squatting, most of your cleaning is going to be done on those 2 days. And then we're not going to hit a lot of movements that do that on the other days. What we are going to do in the other component of our strength piece is going to be single leg work. These two complement each other really, really well. The squat, that bilateral hip hinge, it is a movement that we do a lot. Okay. So we get a ton of practice in it. But if you have compensations, if you have bad movement patterns, if you are not doing what you should be on that, or you have imbalances between your left leg and your right leg, well, we also want to do an equivalent amount of work to equal that out. So we're going to be doing a lot of step ups. We're going to be doing a lot of lunge work. And some of you guys might be thinking, well, we already do a lot of lunge work. And that is true. But now you're going to start to see it a little bit more systematic. So what you can expect out of this, guys, is probably quite a bit of butt and hamstring soreness. And hopefully that's going to be a little bit different for you guys than maybe some quad soreness or some of the other stuff that we've been doing, which is maybe a little bit more quad dependent. We're going to try to switch it up and be a lot more posterior dependent on this next cycle. So those are our two main strength pieces. That's where you're going to see the barbell applied for the most part in this series. So you can expect usually 2 days a week of clean and front squats and usually 2 days a week where you're going to be working on that strength component on a single leg. All right. So I'm going to try to throw as much variety in that kind of end as I can. So some days it's going to be workout. Some days it's going to be dumbbell. Some days it's going to be kettlebell. Some days it's going to be side to side. Some days it's going to be forward, backward. Some days it's going to be up onto stuff in front of you. Some days it's going to be up onto stuff beside you. And we're just going to try to switch it up so you don't feel like you're doing the same single leg movement every time. Now, with those two, you should be seeing your leg strength really raise up. So for those of you guys who maybe just got done with squat cycle, this will kind of compound that effect and you guys will really be off to a good start with developing your legs for the beginning of 2019. What you'll see with that, guys, is you'll be quite a bit more hungry. Your metabolism is going to go up through the roof because that's our biggest mass of muscle. And when we exercise and when we do resistance training with that big mass of muscle, well, our metabolism is going to go up a little bit from it. So it's a great way for us to really fire up better strength, all the chemical benefits that come with that, and of course, all the physical benefits that come with that as well. Now, as the weather starts to shift, what you guys will see is my personal favorite. And some of you guys have a love-hate relationship with these, but the sleds will come back out. Now, we had a pretty calm winter with box pushes and sled pushes. So for some of you guys who maybe started over the winter, this will be a new beast for you guys. And hopefully as the weather starts to change, we will be able to get on them sooner rather than later. So expect to see some sled stuff, hopefully once a week. And the main reason that we're going to be doing that is kind of twofold. One, our running path situation is not fantastic right now because of the potholes. And we're hoping that those are going to get changed. But if they are not going to get fixed, which we don't want to bank on, we also have an alternative running path. And we're going to start to pave some of those as our main capital improvement for the facility this year. We're going to be doing a complete rework of the back area, which we are really excited about. So I'm not going to dive too much into that until we have all of our dollars and cents figured out. And we know for a fact that we can do it all in one foul swoop this spring. And so expect a major rework. We're going to have some really cool outdoor activities planned for you guys this summer full outdoor workout area, and I couldn't be more excited for that. And that paired with some of the interior room air conditioning stuff is going to be some major facility improvements that Friendship is really going to be stepping up their game with this year. That I'm just really excited, to be in a position where we can continue to give back to you guys as a community and continue to improve our facility and our coaching and everything else. So those are the main strength components. So really focusing on the clean is the main one, but clean and front squat, single leg work and fixing imbalances on the alternative days, and then sled work, which is kind of a mix between cardiovascular work and strength work. Now, on the back end of that, guys, we always have a gymnastics focus, and I've really been trying to think about what I want to do here. And we're going to try something that's maybe a little bit different. So CrossFit is really big on, kipping and kipping mechanics. And the last 2 cycles, we have focused on toes to bar, kipping and kipping development, hollow holds, and all those things. And that's fantastic. If you guys really want to continue to take that skill and improve it, I highly recommend either getting with a coach or getting with Jenny, or really honestly, just continuing to practice every day before class. Hit 3 to 5 sets of kipping work and hit some kipping pull-ups, and just practice that 2 to 3 days a week to continue to build that skill. Because one of our other main strength components, and what we're going to do, and it's going to sound crazy as a CrossFit gym, but for 12 weeks here, which this cycle is going to be a little bit longer, for 12 weeks, we are going to try to walk away from doing high repetition kipping pull-ups. So we are going to instead look to really develop bar rows. And then we're going to try some things with rope pulls. So we're going to be looping them over the rig and doing some vertical pulls. We're going to be attaching them to sleds and plates, and we're going to be doing horizontal pulls and seated pulls. We're going to be doing some other things with some pulling on rope or rope-like materials for us to kind of develop some different pulling mechanisms and get away from that big kipping rhythm. Now, we will still have toes to bar, and we will still have a couple of days of kipping pull-ups, but it will not be a focus at all this cycle. And I know at the end of the cycle, I'll be hearing I don't feel like I've done pull-ups in a really long time. And that'll be true, right? But what we hope on that is we are going to take really 3 months here and really just dedicate ourselves, really dive into developing the strength that underlies the pull-up. And that should raise the ceiling for all of you guys, right? If we are up to or right at a limitation with our pull-ups, maybe we can get 3 or maybe 4, and we've maybe got the rhythm down, but our strength is just lacking. We are going to try to raise that ceiling and get our strict pull-ups from maybe 3 to 5, and get the ability to do a few more legless rope climb pulls, or maybe even get that first 15-foot legless rope climb, which is something I really want to see, and develop a lot of that horizontal pulling strength. And one of the big reasons that we're going to do this, guys, is shoulder health really is one of the big ones, right? And building and developing a really strong shoulder and a strong strict pull-up. But more than anything, one of the things that I've found after about 12 years of doing a lot of kipping pull-ups and a lot of rope climbs is I am a really good vertical puller, right? I have really developed that position, okay? So I can do a lot of pull-ups, I can do a lot of rope climbs, and I'm pretty solid pulling in this capacity, right? But instead, what I want to think about what is really hard for me is horizontal pulling. So bar rows, right? We were testing this a little bit last week with some of the workouts in Lynn, is I can do a lot more strict pull-ups than I can bar rows, which is crazy to think about because a lot of people think of bar rows as a scale down. But if you bring those feet all the way under and you're really working at it, I think you'll be surprised at how many less pull-ups you're able to do. And we're really able to focus a much better postural position, much better shoulder position and core position throughout that bar row. And I think if you guys really dedicate yourself to the process of taking a couple steps back, I think you will see that strength really develop on this. So that's really going to be our main gymnastics focus. And as you can tell, that's very far encompassing. That might actually become 3 full days of gymnastic strength work, just working on the different components inside of what that's going to kind of all fit in there. So that's really going to be our big focus. Now, we've got a few tests, okay, during this cycle. We have the unknowns on Memorial Day. And that's obviously, one of our big ones, long ones. And so you should see, hopefully our Curtis P's get a little bit better with some of the single leg work and a lot of the squat cleans and front squats and thrusters should all see some improvement, right? So that's going to be really nice for that. And then we're also going to test Grace for this one. So you guys tested that in, or are going to test that in. And then we're also going to pick a couple of my favorite workouts from some of these sanctionals that I think that we're going to be able to do inside of the gym and kind of pull off. And then I also have a couple of really special old masters workouts that some of you guys might be able to guess that I'm going to bring back into the class atmosphere and let the whole community kind of test now that we're stepped away from them a little bit, because I think some of the masters have a little PTSD thinking that I'm going to have class try that first week back. So some exciting tests coming, and it'll be a good opportunity for you guys to test and retest and see kind of how our fitness is growing. Grace, the retest will be now. And then obviously we might retest at the end of the summer, but I also always like to kind of wait and retest during that barbells for boobs time. So some fun kind of things coming, and then we're coming up on a Fran date at the end of this cycle for the beginning of the next cycle. So as we build that big pull-up strength, then we'll go into getting back into the skill of kipping and building back up for our next bout with Fran. And then right after that is Murph. So that'll kind of take us into the midsummer. So looking forward to it, guys, and hopefully you guys are really excited. And the cool part about this and what we're really excited about is these Sunday seminars coming up. So Eric just did his first one, and it was awesome. So overhead squats and really being able to dive deep into people about ankles and shoulders and thoracic stability and building that overhead squat to be better. Can't wait to see what's coming up next. I know our coaches have a lot of really fun, cool ideas just to give back to you guys so that you can kind of find, what you specifically want to work on. And if you guys have something, tell the coaches, right? They love to hear the ideas from you. We know what we want to work on. We know what we like to coach. We know what our passion is. But sometimes if you guys don't ever tell us, hey, I'd really like to see a seminar on this, right? I'd really like to see a seminar on grocery shopping and reading meal labels, right? Whatever it might be. It could be just totally off the cuff, could be exercise and nutrition related, and just give us a little feedback on that. And I'll see you guys around the gym soon. Thanks.